How's it going, guys? My name's Evan, and welcome to my poker vlog I like to call Bro It Was Suited. This is episode 20 from Horseshoe Casino in Baltimore. Gonna be hopping into some 1-3, and with that being said, let's get into it. So we buy into the game for 400, which is the max. We start to get a feel for the table, win some small pots, lose some small pots. Nothing too crazy, but I can already tell this is kind of a passive table. But not too long into the session, we look down at some ladies. Not often I get to hold a lady, especially two at the same time. Anyways, we're under the gun +1 here. There's a limp from under the gun. I make it 15 to go. And we get a call from middle position and the under the gun limper. So we see a flop 3 ways that comes Jack 7-4 rainbow. I decide to bet 20 here and we only get a call from middle position. We see a turn card of an 8 of clubs. This time I decide to bet 40. And this was a little too much for him as he decides to release his hand. So for those who don't know, Horseshoe Casino is right next to Ravens Stadium. Just wanted to give a quick shout out to the Ravens for their big win against the Chiefs. You can say what you want about the Ravens, but I don't know a single other NFL team that's getting Flo Rida to perform at halftime. Anyways, back to the poker. So here in middle position, we look down at jacking off. There's a $6 button straddle and a couple of limps. I decide to make it 20 here, and we end up getting 2 calls. So we see a flop 3 ways that comes King 8-4 with 2 diamonds. I decide to make it 25 here and both players fold. This was just kind of the pattern at the table. A lot of the pots weren't making it to the river. So here's where things start to get interesting. I look down at Ace-10 of hearts in the cutoff. There's a raise to $15. I make the call and the button calls as well. So we see a flop 3 ways that comes 8-6-4 with 1 heart. Not much for me. The pre-flop raiser bet's pretty small. He makes it 15. I decide to make the call here, get a little curious, keep him honest. The button folds, so we see a turn card heads up that comes in offsuit 3. No help to me, but now he bets $15 again. I don't really know why he's betting so small. I just can't see him having that good of a hand here. So I decide to make the call again with some devious intentions on the river. And that's exactly what happens. The river comes another 3 and he decides to check it to me this time. Well, I think this is a great spot to bluff. I wish I went a little bigger, but I decide to make it 30, and he ends up folding really quickly, pocket 7s, face up. Now, I know you shouldn't show your cards if you don't have to. This is definitely a thing I need to work on. But when someone confidently folds their hand face up, and it would have been the winner, I like to let them know that they made the wrong fold. And man, he was confused when I showed him my hand. So here on the button, we look down at Ace-4 diamonds. There's a couple limps to me. I decide to make it 15 here, and we actually end up getting 4 callers. So we see a flop 5 ways that comes King 7-3 with 2 diamonds. The small blind decides to lead out here for $14. The player to the right of me calls, and I consider raising because I was the pre-flop raiser, but I decide to just make the call here. So we're 3 ways to a turn card that comes in offsuit 5. This time, the small blind and the player to the right of me check it to me. Now, I have way too many outs here that I'm not going to hit on the river. Any 2 gives me a straight, and any diamond gives me the ace-high flush. I decide to bet 30 here, and both players actually end up calling the $30 bet. The river now comes in offsuit 7, so we did not improve. Both players check it to me again, and I just don't see many hands that I'm going to be able to fold out here. So I give up and check it back. And that was right. The small blind table's king-queen offsuit, so I don't think he was going anywhere. And he's going to take this pot down. So here in the big blind, we look down at pocket 10s. There's a raise to $12, a couple calls, and I really wish I 3-bet this because I feel like I have the best hand here a good amount of the time. But I decided to call. So we see a flop 4 ways that comes 9-7-7. I feel like this is a good board for me, so I decide to lead out here. I make it $15, and we end up getting 1 call. The turn comes a jack. I decide to slow down and check it here, and he checks it back. The river comes a 6, and I think we might be able to get some value from a hand with a 9. So I decide to bet 20 here, and he starts to think about it for a bit. And after some time, he does make the call and shows 8-5 for the rivered straight. I do not like how I played this hand, but let's move on to the next one. So here we look down at ace-queen offsuit in middle position. There's a limp to me, I make it 15 to go, and we end up getting 3 callers. So we see a flop 4 ways that comes queen 10-8, all spades. I think a c-bet is in order here, so I make it $20 and only the player to the right of me calls. The turn comes in offsuit 7, and now he decides to lead into me for $20. I don't think there's anything else we can do other than call here, so that's what I do. And the river comes an interesting card. It comes to 5 of spades, putting 4 spades on the board. Interesting enough though, he now checks it to me. Now, I could check it back, however, I don't want to lose to some random 2-pair or straight combo, and I feel like I can fold out a very weak flush if I bet at this. So I put out a bet that looks like value, I make it $40, and he snap folds. I definitely like how I played this hand. So after this, our table started playing shorthanded. I decided to move to a new table, and honestly, I wish I didn't, because a mix of being card dead and not playing my best game led me to slowly lose the little bit of profit I had on the night so far. So instead of trying to win it back, I decided it was probably best if I hit the cage. Well, we were in for 400, out for 357 for a loss of $43. Honestly, just not a lot going on tonight. Didn't play great, did have some good moments, but kind of just was losing it at the end, decided to leave. This brings our 20 episode total to 2,262. I'm thinking next vlog, I'm gonna play at Maryland Live. They're just known for having more action, and I feel like I can just deliver a better vlog from there. So stay tuned for that. Probably gonna play in the next week or so. Make sure you like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.